And out then, last but not least, as he charges it down left field line, Long Island's favorite mascot, good old double ducking, please welcome Whacker Jack. Promotion. Dave the Ducks from the Triple Play in top of the first inning. One lucky fan winning $10,000 as part of the Antique Graziani winning game promotion. Leading off for the Blue Crabs, left fielder number 9, Jack Sundberg.
Welcome to Blue Crabs baseball at Fairfield Properties Ballpark in Central Islip, Long Island, as Jack Sundberg restraps the batting gloves and digs in against Joe Iorio, the starting pitcher for the Long Island Ducks. First pitch in there for a called strike, and we are underway on Long Island. Let's bring you through the starting lineup along with the defensive alignment for the Ducks. And the first pitch from Iorio. On the ground, over towards second base, fielded by Trevor Achenbach, whose sidearm flips to first in time. And there is one away in the top of the first inning. Blue Crabs lineup tonight. Jack Sundberg leads off. Michael Wolanski bats second. Braxton Lee in the 3 spot. It's David Harris, who's the cleanup hitter and designated hitter. Joe DeLuca bats 5th. Zach Collier is batting 6th. He's in center field tonight. Jared Walker is at third base. He bats 7th. The catcher is Ryan Haug. He bats 8th. And batting 9th, it's the shortstop, Michael Baca. Alcides Herrera on the mound for Southern Maryland. And the first pitch to Michael Wolanski is upstairs in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, let's bring you around the diamond defensively for the Long Island Ducks following the 1-0 to Wolanski. Pitch, line drive, foul back behind home plate, count 1-1. The left fielder for the Long Island Ducks is Zach Rakusin. Out in center field, it is Alejandro De Aza, while Carlos Castro is in right. The third baseman, Davidson Romero. At shortstop, it's Tsu-Wei Lin. And the pitch is a slow ground ball over to second. Tough play for the second baseman, Trevor Achenbach, but he flips to first in time. A couple of 4-3 putouts to get us started, and there are 2 away. Well, that brings up the 3-hitter, Braxton Lee for Southern Maryland. Braxton Lee comes in with a .303 batting average. Second on the Blue Crabs team in average, behind only David Harris, who's at .327. Hit a 2-run shot in yesterday's ball game. The first pitch from Iorio is inside in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Iorio with a 4.83 earned run average. The righty deals. Upstairs to the lefty in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Austin Rooney, happy to have you with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. With 2 away in the top of the first inning. Pitch, line drive the other way into left field for a base hit. Bounces twice in front of the left fielder, Zach Rakusin. And there's a runner on first base with 2 outs. So after 2 ground outs to first base, it's a single for Braxton Lee. And here comes David Harris. Harris bats .327 on the season with Braxton Lee leading off of first base. And the pitch, a little bit low and away. The count, 1 ball and no strikes. Last time out for Joe Iorio. Didn't go so well at York. 6 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs. He allowed 3 long balls in that ball game. And the 1-0 pitch, big wave and a miss, and a fastball a little bit away and out of the zone. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike now on David Harris in the top of the first. Iorio had a really good month of August, 3-0 record. And the pitch, that one popped up foul, first base side. And it gets onto the concourse level. And the count, 1-2. Last start in the month of August, 7 innings, 4 hits. He did hit 3 batters in that ball game, but struck out 8, did not allow a run. He looks to get back to that performance tonight as the 1-2 pitches away and the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on David Harris. David Harris now tied for the Blue Crabs lead in home runs with 16. Pitch, line drive, foul back to the netting once more. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Iorio set, pitch, called strike 3. The home plate umpire, Joe Iglio, rings up David Harris. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and that ends the top of the first inning. Well, Joe Iorio allows a hit, but does not surrender a run at the end of the top of the first inning. It's the Blue Crabs nothing, and the Ducks coming to bat when we come back. Bottom of the first inning, no score from Fairfield Properties Ballpark. Austin Rooney, happy to have you with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. It's Alcides Herrera, who is the starting pitcher for Southern Maryland. His time so far with the Blue Crabs has been outstanding. A 1.19 earned run average with the Blue Crabs so far this year. Across 22 2/3 innings. The lefty Herrera deals. Pitch and a line drive, left center field, long run for Sundberg, who reaches up and makes the catch. Oh, a terrific catch by the left fielder, Jack Sundberg, who leaped out in left center to come down with that one.
Now batting for the Ducks, second baseman, number 47, Trevor Achenbach.
And here comes the second batter, Trevor Achenbach. Let's run you through the Long Island batting order in just one moment. As Phil Caulfield led off and he lined out to left field. It's Trevor Achenbach who bats second. And the pitch, that's low and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. It's Alejandro De Aza, the 3-hitter. Davidson Romero is the cleanup hitter. Pitch called strike, that's at the knees, and the count 1-1. Jose Sermo bats 5th. It's Carlos Castro in the 6th spot. Well, Joe DiCarlo bats 7th. Sue Lin is batting 8th. The pitch, ground ball, pretty hard hit to the third base side foul. Count 1-2. And Zach Rakusin is in the 9th spot. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Trevor Achenbach, who bats second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing a tapper foul. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Let's bring you around the diamond defensively for Southern Maryland. In left field, it's Jack Sundberg. The center fielder is Zach Collier. Out in right field, it's Braxton Lee. At third base, Jared Walker, who's making his first start at third. He's come in at third base once since then, though. Pitch, ground ball toward the shortstop. What a play by Baca. The throw to first is offline. Oh, nearly had a highlight reel play, but it's a base hit for Trevor Achenbach, who has an infield single. There's one away in the bottom of the first inning. Here comes Alejandro De Aza.
Now batting for the Ducks, the center fielder, number 33, Alejandro De Aza.
Oh, De Aza digs in from the left side. De Aza digs back in. Batting average for De Aza, .340. It's really something else. And the pitch, this one swinging a high fly ball. Deep right field, sends Lee back to the warning track at the wall. That ball's gone. Oh, it was crushed off the bat of Alejandro De Aza, who goes deep tonight on a fly ball over the wall in right center field. For De Aza, it's just his 10th home run of the season, but that ball was blasted to right. And the Ducks have quickly jumped out to a 2-0 lead. The first time since Herrera joined the Blue Crabs that he's been hit pretty hard, as he's not allowed more than 2 runs on any start this year. Allowed 2 at Charleston, but that's the most. And so it is a 2-0 lead for the Ducks in the bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch, a little bit away, and the count 1-0 on Davidson Romero. That ball blasted over the Chiselia sign in right center field, I should say. 2-0. And the pitch, it's a called strike. Count 0-1 on Davidson Romero. Or 1-1, I should say. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The score no longer 0-0. It's 2-0 Ducks as the 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball in there for a called strike, and the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away under cloudy skies on Long Island. Pitch low in the dirt, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now on the righty, Davidson Romero. Just the 10th home run of the year from De Aza. From Alcides Herrera, it's only the 3rd total home run he's allowed between both Mexico and at the Atlantic League. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's Davidson Romero to swing and miss at a breaking ball low and out of the zone, and there are 2 outs.
For the Ducks, first baseman, number 28, Jose Sermo.
And here comes Jose Sermo. So after a line out to left, an infield single from Trevor Achenbach, it's a 2-run shot off the bat of Alejandro De Aza, and Davidson Romero strikes out swinging. And the pitch. This on the ground, a shortstop, fielded by Baca. He fires to first, and plenty of time to get Jose Sermo to end the inning. Well, Alcides Herrera allows a pair, but the Blue Crabs come to bat in the top of the 2nd inning, trailing 2-0.
And of course,
Joe DeLuca will step in from the left side to get things going in the top of the 2nd inning. And the first pitch to DeLuca. Just a little outside on a fastball on the count. 1 ball and no strikes on the switch hitter. 2-0 in favor of the Ducks following a 2-run shot from Alejandro De Aza. And the pitch, this one swung on and driven high in the air, rather deep to center field. But it is the center fielder De Aza who drifts over to left center and makes the catch for the first down. So 1 away.
Now batting for the Blue Crabs.
And the top of the 2nd inning.
Number 8, Zach Collier.
And here comes Zach Collier. Collier bats from the left side against the righty Joe Iorio. Blue Crabs come into this one 81-44 against the Ducks, who are 61-65. Pitch low in the count. 1 ball and no strikes for the Blue Crabs. Game number 126. For the Ducks, game number 127. Depending on how things go, not only tonight but over the course of the next couple of games, it seems likely that the Blue Crabs are only going to have 6 more games this year, as the 1-0 pitch is a called strike. Count 1-1, including tonight. So if it does not have any impact on the standings, Major League Baseball, or beg your pardon, the Atlantic League will not play that game on Saturday between the Blue Crabs and the Barnstormers, or game 2 of what would be a doubleheader. So the Blue Crabs and Barnstormers will finish the season having played 131 as opposed to 132. As Collier takes a couple of practice swings. Here's the 2-1. Called strike on the inside corner, count 2-2. Ducks 2, Blue Crabs nothing, courtesy of a 2-run home run from Alejandro De Aza. And the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Iorio drops a curveball low and out of the zone, and Collier swings through it. There are 2 away in the top of the second inning. That brings up Jared Walker. Walker tied for the Blue Crabs lead in home runs as well with 16. Went the other way with the home run. And the Blue Crabs last series at York, a home run to left center. This is series number 3 of 4 for the Blue Crabs on this road trip. And the pitch is away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs travel from Staten Island, I beg your pardon, they travel from Staten Island to York, and from York home, or home for one day for that off day, travel back to Long Island. Pitch, line drive, that's into right field for a base hit. And there's a runner on first now with 1 out for the Blue Crabs. So following the fly out from DeLuca, from Collier, who struck out, and now Jared Walker singles to right field. Brings up Ryan Haug. Pitch to Collier, a little bit low and, or beg your pardon, pitch to Haug is a little bit low and away. Running back through this inning, a fly out from DeLuca, the strikeout to Collier, and a single from Walker, who has a substantial lead off of first base. Pitch, he skied it high in the air to shallow left field. And it is the left fielder, Zach Rakusin, who comes in and makes the catch for the final out. Well, the Blue Crabs picked up a hit in the top of the second inning, but couldn't advance them past first base. They strand 1 at the end of an inning and a half. It's the Ducks who have a 2-0 lead over the Blue Crabs on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Oh, here comes Carlos Castro, who will dig in from the right side against Alcides Herrera, who ran into a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the first inning, allowed an infield single to Trevor Achenbach and the 2-run home run from Alejandro De Aza. Carlos Castro digs in. First pitch called strike. That one on the outer half, and the count 0-1. Bottom of the second inning. Here's the 0-1 offering. That's low and in. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Well, Blue Crabs will send Herrera, Marathieu, and Thompson to the mound in the series. Pitch a little bit low and away. And the count 2 balls and a strike on Carlos Castro. Again, Castro to be followed by Joe DiCarlo and Sue Lin. Here is the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Carlos Castro, and the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. And the 2-2 a little bit low and away. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Castro waves his bat, takes a couple of practice swings. Here's the pitch. On the ground, third base side foul. Carlos Castro, the batter. Castro is 0 for 6 in the last series. Played as high as high A ball. His third year in the Atlantic League. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes on the righty. Carlos Castro out in right field tonight. Pitch on the ground through the right side for a base hit. So after going 0 for 6 in his last series, Castro picks up a base hit on a ground ball through the right side between Joe DeLuca and Michael Wolanski. And there is a runner on first base with nobody out. So a single for Castro. And here comes Joe DiCarlo. DiCarlo played as high as AAA, but just 1 for 8 in their last series. Herrera set. Here's a pitch. Top foul, first base side. The Ducks were swept by the Ferry Hawks at home. A 6-4 loss, a 16-6 loss, and a 7-3 loss. As they now have the weekday series here against the Blue Crabs. Pitch low and in, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike now on DiCarlo. The Ducks will end on the road at Staten Island. So their final home game will be on Thursday. Always well attended here at Fairfield Properties Ballpark. And now they've got him in a rundown. Throw to first, down, throw back to second in time to get Carlos Castro, who took off a little early. It was Joe DeLuca who fired to second base. It was Wolanski who was there, but Baca took control and grabbed the ball and tagged him out. Some miscommunication there at second base, and Baca just gives Wolanski a pat on the back. It looks like they're all good, and there's now 1 away. In the bottom of the second inning, takes a base hit off the board. As Carlos Castro caught stealing, left a little early on the pitch. 1-1 delivery, lofted foul, first base side. And the count 1-2. Give you some information on velocity. Joe Iorio's topped out at 92 tonight. 18 fastballs, 7 sliders for Herrera. Fastball topped out at 87. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a second strikeout for Alcides Herrera.
Number 25.
And there are 2 away in the bottom of the second inning. Sue Lin, a former big leaguer, digs in. Base paths are empty. First pitch breaking ball. That's on the outside corner. And the count 0-1. Sue Lin spent 5 years in the major leagues, including 4 years with the Red Sox. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. It was inside. And the count 1-1. Played with the Red Sox from 2017 to 2020. And with the Twins in 2021, 1-1 pitch is away, and the count 2-1. Sue Lin was 1 for 6 in his last game. In his last series, I should say. And the 2-1. Swinging a ground ball. This one looks like it's headed up the middle. It's past the outstretched reach of Wolanski into center field for a base hit. 4 hits now for the Ducks across the first inning and 2/3 for Alcides Herrera. And Zach Rakusin comes to the plate. And Zach Rakusin digs in from the right side. Sue Lin on first base. Here's the pitch, called strike, and the count 0-1. Rakusin did not play in the last ball game and is playing at his peak here in the Atlantic League. This is his second year in the league. And tossing over to first base, checks on Rakusin. This is his 3rd team this year in the Atlantic League. 8 games with York, 6 games with Staten Island. We're here on Long Island, and I'll tell you this much. If the Bagels aren't good here, I don't know what to tell you. We've got an issue. Pitch, ground ball over towards second. Oh, an awkward play. Wolanski had to cover. Second was out of position, and it gets by him into center field for a base hit. Oh, Zach Rakusin gets a little bit of luck. As there are now runners on the corners.
The designated hitter, number 11, Phil Caulfield.
So runners on the corners and 2 outs. The runner was going at Sue Lin from first to second, so Wolanski had to go to cover. There was a ground ball, was not all that well hit, was headed right to where Wolanski would normally be, would have ended the inning, but since he was covering second, he was out of position, had to dive, and couldn't make the play as all of his momentum was taking him to his right, had to switch directions and go to his left. Either way, runners on the corners now with 2 outs as Phil Caulfield, the lefty, digs in. Pitch, called strike, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the breaking ball popped up third base side. Our trivia question today is going to be about MLB talent on these 2 teams. Traditionally, the Long Island Ducks have a ton of big leaguers. But so far this year, that number not where it normally is. A lot of guys who are peaking in the Atlantic League or guys who have played as high as AAA. Not quite as many for the Ducks this year. Herrera set. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a chopper, first base side, fielded by DeLuca. He's going to run to the bag. He beats Phil Caulfield there for the final out. Well, that ends the bottom of the second inning. The Blue Crabs are trail 2-0 at the end of 2. The Long Island Ducks strand 2 at the end of the second inning. It's 2-0 Ducks. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Come stay at the Holiday Inn Express Waldorf, where teamwork makes the dream work. A proud sponsor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and your home away from home. The Holiday Inn Express is located at 11,370 Days Court. That's 11370 Days Court, Waldorf, near the Waldorf Shoppers World Shopping Center. Call 301-932-9200 to make a reservation or look us up at ihg.com or on the IHG app. Come put your feet up and enjoy the complimentary free breakfast and indoor heated pool at the Holiday Inn Express, Waldorf.
We go to the top of the third inning. Blue Crabs trail 2-0 for the Ducks. Two runs on 5 hits for the Blue Crabs. No runs on 2 hits. Here's the first pitch. Upstairs in the count, 1 ball and no strikes on Michael Baca. It will be 9-1-2 in the Blue Crabs order. Baca followed by Sundberg and Wolanski. It was Braxton Lee who had a hit in the first. Jared Walker with the hit in the second. Pitch has popped up foul first base side, and the count 1-1. The Blue Crabs can string together some hits. They might be able to claw their way back in this ball game as they trail 2-0 in the top of the third. Baca taps home plate a couple of times. Stares in. Here's the pitch. Up and away. Count 2-1. Iorio's topped out at 92, but has mostly been 88 to 90 so far. And the 2-1. That's away. Count 3 balls and a strike now on Michael Baca. Iorio stares down his catcher. It's Joe DiCarlo behind the plate tonight. And the pitch called strike. That's on the outside corner. And the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fired a fastball in there past Michael Baca. On the season, walks haven't been a major issue for Iorio. He's walked 41 across 118 innings. For some reference, it's about 1 batter every 3 innings. 3-2 pitch. Little low, it's ball 4. Oh, very, very close. It's a gutsy pitch for Michael Baca to take. I don't know if he knew where that ball was going to end up, if he would have taken it, but he does take ball 4 just a tad low, and he does walk to get things going in the top of the third inning. Now, since the Blue Crabs haven't been able to generate any offense up until this point, I wouldn't be stunned if Baca tries to steal. He's 20 out of 23 on the season. Pretty good for the shortstop. And he was caught for just the 3rd time this year in York on Sunday. Pitch, a called strike at the belt. And the count 0-1 on Mike on Jack Sundberg. Sundberg followed by Wolanski here in the inning. Pitch that's a little upstairs this time. Count 1-1, just above the belt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. That last pitch to Baca was actually inside according to our track man, not low. And Baca did try to do the move out of the way, sort of used to see Derek Jeter do back in the day. Move the hips back and be like, hey, it's coming toward me. 1-1 pitch is away now to Jack Sundberg. Count 2-1. So Iorio walks Baca. Back-to-back pitches missing now to Sundberg in the count 2-1. Not missing wildly on any of these. 2-1 pitch just barely clips the outside corner. Count 2-2 now on Jack Sundberg, who restraps the batting gloves, touches his helmet, and digs back in from the left side. Baca on first with nobody out. 2-0 Ducks, courtesy of a 2-run home run from Deaza back in the first. Tossing over to first base, checking on Baca. Again, the new Major League Baseball rule this year will be that, well, actually starts in 2023, will be that pitchers can only pick off twice. The third pickoff move on the pitch, this one foul back, count 2-2. Third pickoff move either has to get the runner out or he's able to advance to third base. So you really better be sure on that third pickoff move that he's going. Either he starts early and you hear your fielders call out that he's going, then you can pick off. But other than that, it'll be 2 pickoffs per at bat. And look, I think it is a little bit much when he pick off 7 times. Pitch is popped up over toward left field. It's Rakusin who moves over a couple of steps toward the line and makes the catch. And there is 1 away. So runner on first base with 1 out.
Number 12, Michael Wolanski.
And here comes Michael Wolanski. Well, Baca opts not to steal with nobody out. There's not much benefit of stealing with 1 out. I think usually you find that benefit with 2 outs, trying to muster something in the inning if you haven't been able to advance that base runner yet. The pitch, that's low to Michael Wolanski in the count 1-0. Wolanski played very, very well at third base. Played at third base back on Sunday and saved probably 2 runs on a hard ground ball to third base and got a double play out of it. Pitch is popped up. Shallow right field. Long run. It's going to be the second baseman, Trevor Achenbach, who gets under it and makes the catch. And there are 2 away. And well done by Achenbach, ranging over toward the line. So 2 outs now in the top of the 3rd inning. Still 2-0 Long Island. And the first pitch now to Braxton Lee. That one just barely clips the lower and outside corner in the count 0-1. That's a little up and away in the count 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to Braxton Lee, who played in the major leagues back in 2018 with the Miami Marlins. Pitch, line drive, rather well struck, left center field. Long run for Deaza. He's looking up. It's off the wall. Baca rounds third. He'll score. Now the throw to the plate. They're not going to throw. He does score easily without a throw. It's an RBI double for Braxton Lee, who belted that ball to left center. And the Blue Crabs are on the board. It's 2-1. Well, Joe Iorio has given up a single and now an RBI double to Braxton Lee in the tying run, now in scoring position for Southern Maryland. We talked about stringing hits together earlier. And I guess for Baca it wasn't a hit but a walk. It did the trick as Braxton Lee drives him in. First pitch now to Harris, swinging a line drive, shallow right center field. It's the second baseman, Achenbach, who drifts back and makes a basket catch to end the inning. Well, that one had blooper written all over it, but a terrific play by the second baseman drifting out into right center field. And it's Trevor Achenbach who saves a run for the Ducks on a basket catch to end the top of the third inning. While the Blue Crabs score one, they strand one at the end of 2.5. It's the Blue Crabs 1 and the Ducks 2 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Michael Baca, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
A 2-1 lead for the Long Island Ducks over the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs as Trevor Achenbach digs in. First pitch is low and in, and the count 1-0 on the righty. Also a defensive change for Southern Maryland as Matt Hibbert enters and Braxton Lee exits. Pitch called strike, and the count 1-1 on Trevor Achenbach. Achenbach singled back in the first inning, came around to score on a 2-run home run from Alejandro De Aza. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Alcides Herrera so far this season, most hits he's allowed in a start, 6, the most runs, 2. That was in a 7-inning performance at Charleston. He's already allowed 5 hits in the first 2 innings here. Pitch, swing and a miss. It was in the dirt, nicely blocked by Haug. Strong throw to first in time to get him, and there's 1 away. 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And here comes Alejandro De Aza. That's the 3rd strikeout now for Herrera. 37 pitches for the lefty across the first 2 1/3. It's not terribly high. And you're in line for right around 6 innings across 100 pitches, which I'm sure the Blue Crabs would take at this point. Pitch is low and away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs did use quite a few relievers back on Sunday. as it was Connor Law, then went to Patrick Baker. Dalton Geeky pitched, and Dario Polanco closed out a 7-2 victory for the Blue Crabs. 1-0 pitch was up and away, count 2-0. Adrian Cook went 5 innings. It was important to see Connor Law really go out there and shine along with Dalton Geeky. 2-0 pitch. A little bit away in the count 3-0. Connor Law allowed 4 runs, 3 earned in his first appearance on Friday, but a really nice comeback appearance on Sunday. 3-0 pitch. Inside, it's ball 4. And his numbers were very, very good in Staten Island, so that's the difference. And, well, if you're going to walk somebody and you're Alcides Herrera, it might as well be Alejandro De Aza. De Aza has the best batting average in the Atlantic League, and he just clobbered a home run his last time up. So better a walk than a home run. Herrera did seem to sort of be pitching around him. Wasn't missing badly, but just by a couple inches off the plate. And here comes Davidson Romero. You're going to have to challenge the righty here after walking De Aza. Romero has 17 home runs of his own. Pitch. That's away. Now he's thrown 5 consecutive balls. That's one thing you issue a 4-pitch walk to De Aza. Well, now you're facing off against Romero. Doesn't seem to be a strategic thing. He's thrown 27 strikes, 15 balls so far to this point, which is a very good percentage. Pitch on the ground to third base. Walker can't handle it. It goes into left field. Baca chases after it, and everybody's going to be safe. Should have been a double play ball, but Walker couldn't handle it. Jared Walker hasn't played third base, and he was already looking to try to turn 2. And he couldn't do the first part, which is fielded over at third base. So it's an error against Walker. What probably should have been an inning-ending double play is instead an error against the third baseman. And there are runners on the corners with 1 out.
First baseman, number 28, Jose Servo.
And I think there's going to be a question as to which base he would go to. You'd think he'd go to second base for the lead out. I think that can be assumed. But either way, runners on the corners and 1 out. That's as far as a scoring play would be concerned. If Herrera is going to be charged with the earned run or not. First pitch is low and in. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Got exactly the ball he wanted, though. And the pitch, line drive to right. This one well struck. Hibbert goes back on it. He makes the catch. And there are 2 outs. Tagging from third, scoring easily. It's Alejandro De Aza. And it is a 3-1 lead for the Ducks. An error over at third base costs the Blue Crabs. As Jose Sermo lifts the line out to right. Would have ended the inning should they have gotten that force out at second base and even not turned 2. It would have been the 3rd out. So Herrera will not be charged with that run as earned. And here comes Carlos Castro. Well, after the strikeout to Achenbach, a walk to De Aza, an error by Jared Walker and a sacrifice fly. It's 3-1 Long Island over Southern Maryland. First pitch, this one line drive, well struck, deep left center field. This ball back at 1, hops the wall. Fielded very quickly by the left fielder Sundberg. He fires in. It's going to prevent a run from scoring. A terrific job by left fielder Jack Sundberg to field that ball off the UBS sign. It 1 hop the wall, and he fired into the shortstop Baca. And there are now 2 out and 2 on as Carlos Castro rocketed that ball to left. Romero to third. Well, all additional runs scored in this inning will go down as unearned against Alcides Herrera. But from the Blue Crabs' perspective, they now have to deal with 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. 3-1 Southern Maryland. Been out hit 6-3 today. The bats have gotten to Herrera today. Pitch, breaking ball, ground ball through the left side. It's a base hit. Romero scores. They're going to wave Castro to the plate. The throw's a good one. Gets by Haugen, hits the home plate umpire, Joe Iglio. A 2 RBI single. It's 5-1 Ducks here in the bottom of the second inning. Meanwhile, it's Joe DiCarlo who goes from first to second on the throw. Probably helped the Blue Crabs a little bit. The throw hit Joe Iglio after he got by Haug. But things have really spiraled here in the third inning. The bullpen for both teams is behind the outfield wall, which means that you don't have access to see who's warming up. Blue Crabs bullpen is out in left field. Long Island's is in right. Either way, 5-1. And the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, well hit, deep right field, sends Hibbert back to the warning track at the wall. That ball is gone. 2-run home run for Sue-Wei Lin. The former Red Sox goes deep over the wall and right and puts the Ducks ahead by 6. Oh my, this one has really spiraled for the Blue Crabs. Yeah, this is a 5-run inning against Alcides Herrera. His ERA won't show it because all these runs are going to go down as unearned, but the Blue Crabs find themselves in deep trouble in the bottom of the third inning. An error against Jared Walker. Would have ended the inning. Instead, well, it's 7-1 as they've scored 7 runs on 8 hits here in the inning. And here comes Zach Rakusin. Pitch low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. 7 runs on 8 hits. And the 1-0 pitch. On the ground, up the middle, it's a base hit. Hit after hit after hit after hit. 7 runs on 9 hits for the Ducks. And Mike Falsetti, the Blue Crabs bullpen catcher, is going to walk out to the bullpen. And they're going to start to get some action going. I think it is generally better to not have your bullpens in the field of play. With that said, when you've got your catcher, you got to walk all the way out and back, and there are no phones allowed in the dugouts. I'm not sure if there's a bullpen phone in the dugout to be able to communicate down to the pen. But there are no phones allowed in the dugouts according to Atlantic League rule. And the pitch, a little outside, count 1-0 on Phil Caulfield, as the Ducks have now batted around. 5 runs scored in the inning. Joe DiCarlo, an RBI single. He came around and scored on the home run from Sue-Wei Lin. This one looked like the Blue Crabs were in trouble. Things only got worse with the home run. This inning seems never ending. They've already scored 5. Here's a 1-1. Popped him up in the infield. It's the second baseman. That's Michael Wolanski who camps under it and makes the catch. Oh, it's not before the Ducks score 5 runs on 4 hits. The end of 3 innings of play. It's 7-1 Ducks on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. And the first pitch now to Joe DeLuca. Takes a bad hop, but it's still fielded by the first baseman, Jose Sermo, who steps on first base, and there's one away. So it's Joe DeLuca retired after one pitch. And there is one out.
Number 8, Zach Collier.
Well, a couple things to look at here now. So Braxton Lee had exited the ball game after the third inning as Matt Hibbert comes in. The only RBI came courtesy of Braxton Lee. And first pitch now to Zach Collier, a little bit away, and the count 1-0. 7-1 Ducks. Only 2 runs charged as earned against Herrera, but 5 unearned in the bottom of the third inning. Pitch up and away, count 2-0. They certainly have their work cut out for them. Plenty of time here. We're only in the top of the fourth inning, but still. 7-1 is a large lead to try and overcome. 2-0 pitch. Popped up, foul territory, and the count 2-1. Well, Braxton Lee exited the ball game. It was after that double he hit to left center field. I said to myself, he looks like he's a little bit, he was a little hobbled on the play. 2-1 pitch. Went in there on the inside corner, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Didn't look like he could run 100%. And I'm not exactly sure what the issue is, but it was Matt Hibbert who entered the ball game in right field to start at the bottom of the third. Pitch. Line drive foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hibbert. Well, Collier taps home plate 3 times. Base paths are empty. He steps out now. Let's give you an idea of where things stand for the Blue Crabs. 81-44. If they win another game, they will tie the Blue Crabs franchise record for the most wins in a season. As the 2-2 pitch is low, count 3-2. Former Blue Crabs record was 82 and 57 across 139 games. Blue Crabs 81-44 have 6 games remaining. 3-2 pitch. Line drive, well struck, deep left field. It sends Rakusin back. He's in front of the warning track where he makes the catch. And there are 2 away. Well struck off the bat of Collier, but he goes down via a line out to left. 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. 7-1 Long Island. A 5-run third inning is the difference right now. It was 2-0 after the first inning. A 2-run shot from DeAza. Blue Crabs got 1 back in the third. Looked like they were going to be in contention tonight, but things went awry in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Walker is low and in. Walker made an error in the bottom of the third inning. It's the reason that all 5 of those runs go down as unearned against Herrera. You look at his ERA, you say, oh, it's still 1.75. 7 runs, 2 earned. 1-0 pitch. Foul back in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. And, every once in a while you'll see a pitcher, it's pretty typical to see somebody who says, okay, maybe allowed 4 runs, 2 earned. 7 runs, 2 earned, it's pretty rare. I don't know the last time I've seen somebody who had 5 more unearned runs than they had earned. Maybe someone allows like 12 runs, 7 earned, but 7-2. As the 1-1 pitch is popped up, foul territory, third base side. The count 1-2 now on Walker. So after the hard ground out to first from DeLuca, the line out to left, it's Walker who's behind in the count 1-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Joe Iorio's been dealing so far. Pitch, this one smoked to left, this one back in front of the warning track at the wall, gets past the right fielder, and it's going to He still has trouble with it. Walker's now going to third. Oh, how about this throw? It's way offline, but still a heck of an arm from Carlos Castro, who fired that ball in from right. I mean, that ball was a rocket of a throw to third base, but it's a two-out triple from Jared Walker. And here comes Ryan Howe. Again, it's all about stringing those hits together, obviously. Blue Crabs have 4 hits in this ball game, just 1 run to show for it. 1 hit in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and now 1 here in the fourth. You need to do a little better than that. 4 hits in 1 inning, you got a bit of a different story. At least there is some consistency coming. Pitch called strike, count 0-1, but Walker, despite the fact that he made that bad error, is 2 for 2 tonight. I'm going to call it a double and an error against Carlos Castro. And the 0-1 pitch. Line drive, well struck to center field, but it's right at Alejandro De Aza, who moves in a few steps and makes the catch head high for the final out of the top of the 4th inning. Well, the Blue Crabs pick up a hit. They strand 1. They score none at the end of 3.5. It's the Ducks 7 and the Blue Crabs 1 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Things have turned south for the Blue Crabs here tonight. A 7-1 deficit in the bottom of the 4th inning as Trevor Achenbach deals, or comes to plate, I should say, to get things going. First pitch, swing and a miss. Breaking ball low and out of the zone, and the count 0-1 on Achenbach. He'll be followed by De Aza and Romero. It's the same 3 batters to start the 4th that started the 3rd, as the Ducks batted around and scored 5 runs in the process. 0-1 from Herrera. On the ground, third base side foul. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Well, Blue Crabs have been getting some hits at the plate. Again, they're not out of it. This is only the 4th inning. You got to find a way to get to the starter a little later, though, as Joe Iorio's been cruising so far. And if Alcides Herrera can recover, I mean, can sort of make the best out of the start that he can, as the 0-2 pitch is top foul. I mean, you're not going to have a good start having allowed 7 runs, no matter what the earned run category might say. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's the 4th strikeout for Herrera through 3 1/3.
Now batting for the Ducks, the center fielder.
It's Alejandro De Aza who comes to the plate.
Alejandro De Aza.
The Long Island Ducks, who come in 61 and 65, who were just swept at home by Staten Island, have seemed to rebound tonight. First pitch to De Aza is a called strike, count 0-1 on the lefty. De Aza homered in the first, he walked in the third, and came around to score on a sacrifice fly from Jose Sermo. 0-1. It's away, and the count 1-1 strike. That should have ended the inning, as there was an error by Romero. A sacrifice fly should have been a fly out to end it. There were 3 more runs that came around and scored. And those 3 runs, if the inning had started and the pitches had been the same, those would have counted. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It was a double from Castro, a single from DiCarlo, and a home run. Pitch on the ground over to shortstop. Baca fields, he fires to first. It's in time, and there are 2 outs. So a strikeout from Achenbach. Ground out from De Aza. Alcides Herrera is looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game. An uncharacteristic start from Herrera. And Herrera comes set. Here's the first pitch. On the ground at third base, foul. And the count 0-1. It's a tough break for the Blue Crabs with regard to Braxton Lee. The last thing you want is for your starting right fielder to get injured in the final days of the regular season, and all of which are really exhibition games here in the second half. 0-1. 1 away, count 1-1. The Blue Crabs starting rotation still looks really good top to bottom. The Blue Crabs are going to go to Marathon tomorrow. They'll go with, as the 1-1 pitch is a little away, count 2-1. They'll go with Thompson on Thursday. Friday will be Lamson. I'd imagine the Blue Crabs will circle back to Butler on Saturday and Herrera on Sunday. As a 2-1 pitch, check swing, it's over the head of Herrera, fielded by the second baseman. That's Wolanski, who fires to first in time to get Romero and end the inning. Well, it's the first 1-2-3 inning from Alcides Herrera, but the Ducks still have a 7-1 lead as we go to the top of the 5th inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Top of the fifth inning, 7-1 Ducks over Southern Maryland. 9-1 and 2 will come to the plate for the Blue Crabs. It's Baca followed by Sundberg and Wolanski. Well, Southern Maryland certainly has their work cut out for them, no question about that. 1 run on 4 hits today. First pitch called strike on Michael Baca. I think the important thing to remember for the Blue Crabs is you don't need to get them all back at once. You know, a couple runs in the fifth, a few runs in the sixth. There's time. Pitch, line drive to right. It's Carlos Castro who came in and sort of stumbled to the ball, then dove and made the catch for the first out. It's not how you draw it up, but it is the first out nonetheless. And there is one away in the top of the fifth. That was not his best approach to the ball, but gets the job done. One out in the top of the fifth inning, and it's Jack Sundberg who comes to the plate. And Jack Sundberg holds the team record for 3 different categories. He steps in and powers one to right field. It's back toward the warning track. Carlos Castro at the wall. He leaps. Did he make the catch or is it gone? Let's see. No one knows. Does he have it or does he not have it? He's got the baseball. You gotta be kidding me. He caught the ball. Stole a home run from Jack Sundberg as that ball was headed out of the ballpark. Wow. He sat there at the base of the wall for a solid 20 seconds while Carlos Castro took an unorthodox approach to the ball to Michael Baca, dove and made an awkward catch. He comes back on the very next pitch and robs a home run from Jack Sundberg. Oh, how about that? Wow. A solo shot taken back from Jack Sundberg, who's been on a recent power streak. And the first pitch is a little away for ball 1 on Michael Wolanski. Now 2 outs in the top of the fifth inning. Well, Carlos Castro has robbed a home run and made a diving catch here in the fifth. Pitch that's a little low in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 pitch. That's a called strike. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 run on 4 hits for the Blue Crabs, 7 runs on 9 hits for the Ducks. Well, just think if that was played differently in right field from the start from Castro. 3-0 pitch, that misses. Was the 2-1 pitch? 2-0 pitch, not a strike? I guess it was a ball. That was ball 4, I guess. I had that second one as a strike, but clearly it was not called a strike. And all 4 pitches, I guess, were just a little up. It's ball 4, and it's Matt Hibbert who will dig in as he comes in for Braxton Lee. But the difference between having 2 outs right now and a runner on first base and there being no outs if he didn't make a diving catch and robbing a home run and had this a 7-3 ball game with the runner on first, it's astronomical. Either way, pitch is fouled back by Hibbert in the count 0-1. Have to see what comes of this whole situation with Braxton Lee. As the pitch, ground ball, this one fielded on the backhand. It's going to get past the shortstop, Sue Lin, into left field for a base hit. Well, a former big leaguer had some trouble with that ball. I'm not sure if it went under his glove or if it hit the lip of the grass or what. But somehow it got by him. It's going to be a hit for Matt Hibbert. So there's a runner on first and second now with 2 outs. And here comes David Harris. Again, call into mind the plays made out in right field, the difference that has in this ballgame. It's either 7-3 with 2 on and no out, or it's 7-1 with runners on first and second and 2 outs. A massive difference right there. And you've got David Harris at the plate. First pitch to the righty, called strike. That's on the outer half in the count 0-1. Joe Iorio attacks with a fastball. Oh, 1 pitch upcoming. Here's the offering. Little outside, count 1-1. Nearly an identical spot. That one just a little further outside. And he does not get the strike call from Joe Iglio. Joe Iorio and Joe Iglio share quite a few letters in their name and the same first name, but not enough for a strike call that time. 1-1 pitch. This one deflects awkwardly. It's fielded by the second baseman, Achenbach, who flips to second to the shortstop, Sue Lin, for the final out. Well, that ends the top of the fifth inning. We're halfway done here at Fairfield Properties Ballpark. The Blue Crabs could have had 4 hits. They did have 2 hits. At the end of the inning, the Blue Crabs strand 2 and score none. It's 7-1 Ducks on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated.
Oh, Jose Sermo, the first baseman, digs in from the right side. Alcides Herrera has gone 4 innings of work, 7 runs, just 2 earned on 9 hits. Did have a 1-2-3 fourth, but it's about all the positives. He has the right home out now. First pitch called strike, and the count 0-1 on Jose Sermo. A 5-run third inning. And the pitch, that's low, and the count 1-1. Some terrific fielding to back up the Ducks starting pitcher, Joe Iorio. A robbed solo home run by the right fielder, Carlos Castro. 1-1 pitch. It's away, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Could have easily been a totally different ball game. But Carlos Castro, a diving catch and a robbing a home run. 2-1 pitch is away, count 3-1. And if he hits that home run, it's 7-3. And don't even count the runners on base that got on there thereafter with the walk and the hit. I mean, you've got a situation where it's 7-3 in the 5th. It's a 4-run ball game, and now it's a 6-run ball game. At 4 innings to make up 6 runs. Pitch, hard ground ball, diving, stopped by Baca. He gets up, fires to first. The pick by DeLuca, it's in time. A star-studded web gem by Michael Baca, diving to his left toward the second base bag, making the terrific fielding play and firing to first for the out. There's one away.
Number 44, Carlos Castro.
Here comes Carlos Castro. Carlos Castro comes to the plate. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Herrera, first pitch. Check swing, did he go? They motion down to first. The first base umpire, that's Silvio Martinez, said yes, he did. And the count 0-1 on Carlos Castro. 1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch, that's low. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom of the 5th inning, 7-1 Ducks. A 2-run first and a 5-run third for Long Island. And the pitch, that's away. Count 2 balls and 1 strike, just a little off the outer edge. On the game so far, Carlos Castro has doubled. He has also singled. He was caught stealing, though. And he's robbed a home run. Even if he doesn't hit the home run, he's really just a triple shy of the cycle based on the home run he stole. Pitch. Ground ball, third base side, count 2-2. I don't think that people normally think of Carlos Castro as an outstanding fielder. I mean, he's good enough. I mean, the way he sort of hobbled over to that diving play he made to rob Michael Baca of a base hit did not exactly take the quickest path, or didn't look like the most athletic play. 2-2 pitch. On the ground, hard hit ball, nicely backhanded by Walker. The throw to first is high, but it's in time to get Castro. And there are 2 away. So there are 2 outs now. Following the ground out to short, Carlos Castro grounds out to third. And it's Joe DiCarlo who comes to the plate. DiCarlo waves his bat in a circular motion. First pitch coming to the righty. Low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. 7-1 Long Island over Southern Maryland. One-0 delivery. Called strike, count 1-1. Blue Crabs hit the ball pretty well in the top of the 5th. Couldn't get any runs in, though. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2. Just to give you some context there, our 4 balls hit north of 90 miles an hour. Including part of a double play from David Harris. Count 1-2 upcoming on Joe DiCarlo. Pitch is low and in, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The ball hit off the bat of Jose Sermo. That was gloved by Michael Baca. Was hit 109 miles an hour. Gives you a bit of insight on just how great that defensive play was by Baca. 2-2 pitch, foul back. Count remains 2-2. Absolutely smoked off the bat. But merely a ground out. And that ball was hit with the right launch angle. That ball would have been probably hit over that Community Bank video board in left field. Two-two pitch to Joe DiCarlo. Upstairs, count 3-2. As Herrera seems poised to get through 5 innings. Only thrown 80 pitches. Pitch count not the issue. The runs back in the 3rd were. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Count remains 3-2. Give you a little bit of context here. So far in this game, Herrera has allowed 9 hits and 1 walk. That's 10 base runners. On Sunday, Adrian Cook allowed 7 hits and 3 walks. If you're allowing 9 hits and a walk, you probably expect to allow 7 runs. Cook allowed 7 hits and 3 walks. He did not allow a run. Pitch, line drive, third base, line that ball, falls for a base hit. Going to go all the way to the wall. Sundberg gathers and fires into the shortstop. The cutoff man, Baca, actually gets into third base. It is a double from Joe DiCarlo, and the Ducks just keep on hitting. Actually does end a streak of 6 straight retired by Alcides Herrera.
Number 25, Sue Wei.
That is the 10th hit of the ball game, as Sue Lin, who went deep over the wall in right, back in the 3rd inning, steps in. Herrera has thrown 82 pitches, 53 for strikes. It hasn't been the lack of strikes. It's been how hard the opposing team has hit his pitches. His fastball, his breaking ball hasn't really mattered. I'm not sure if it's a lack of movement on the fastball, but they've really gotten to him. One 0 pitch. Little inside, count 2-0. Sue Lin hit just his 2nd home run with the Ducks. Herrera set. 2-0 pitch. Popped up, foul yet again. Foul territory, count 2-1. Lynn digs back in. Runner on second base. It's Joe DiCarlo with Sue Lin at the plate. 2-1. Upstairs, count 3-1. You'd have to imagine this will do it for Herrera. I guess you never know. The 3-1 delivery to Sue Lin, swinging a high fly ball, belted to straightaway center. Collier back at the warning track at the wall. That ball's gone. For the 2nd time tonight, Sue Lin has gone deep. The former big leaguer has powered his 2nd home run. This one to straightaway center field. It's 9-1 Ducks here in the bottom of the 5th. Oh my. Another home run for Long Island, and Southern Maryland has sort of fallen apart tonight. Already down 7-1, and a 2-run shot allowed by Alcides Herrera. Not his night, that's for sure. 9 runs on 11 hits in 5 innings. And the first pitch is a called strike, count 0-1. You look at some of the options the Blue Crabs might have out of the bullpen. It might be a similar night to that of Sunday. Pitch, swing and a miss, count 0-2. You're probably going to see a lot more of Polanco tonight. Probably going to see, you might see some other guys get in there to get some action tonight. 0-2 pitch, that's away, count 1-2. Just give you an idea of who might be available. Nick Wells has been activated from the injured list. He might get an inning tonight. I wouldn't think the Blue Crabs would put Connor Law back in this situation. They might go back to him, though. 1-2 pitches low in the dirt, count 2-2. I wouldn't think you'd see Briseño, Baker, or Dykstra. Matt Lato's probably also not in action tonight. And Dalton Geeky might make another appearance. He appeared on Sunday as the Blue Crabs try to work him back into that bullpen rotation. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, well struck to right center. This one definitely playable, though, for Matt Hibbert, who drifts back and makes the catch for the final out. Alcides Herrera. It's hit around here in the 5th. Allows a 2-run shot off the bat of Sue Lin. And the Ducks have a 9-1 lead. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, Joe DeLuca gets things started in the top of the 6th inning. That brings us to our trivia question. It's 9-1 Ducks, and the pitch is upstairs. Our trivia question tonight is how many Major League Baseball players, or how many players with Major League Baseball experience are on these two teams combined? And the pitch, that's inside, count 2-0 on DeLuca. Let's get to some of our shout-outs today. Wes Mumper says, let's go Blue Crabs, get steamed on Long Island, and hunt some ducks. And the pitch fouled back, count 2-1 on DeLuca. Southern Maryland's FCA says, let's go Blue Crabs. Wes Mumper says, wait, we are not getting the doubleheader to complete a season. We may need a 4th game in charge to win the second half. Well, that's the deal, Wes. So if the Blue Crabs, they need to come back and win tonight, but the pitch is low and in, count 3-1. If the Blue Crabs are in a situation where they could win the second half, they will play that game. Unless that's the case, they will not play the game. Tammy Shipley says, let's go Blue Crabs. Susan H. says the same pitch. Hard one hopper. It's right at the second baseman, Trevor Achenbach, who fields and fires to first, and there's one away. Oh, my. A lot of hard hit balls by the Blue Crabs today. Nothing is finding the open diamond. Oh, there's one away. And Zach Collier digs in. It's been that kind of game for Southern Maryland. Opportunities, could not seize those chances. Pitch, that's away. Oh, it's a called strike. Outside corner on Collier. So our trivia question tonight is how many players between these two teams have Major League experience? Matt Neiman said he just tuned in, checked the Xbox, or checked the box score. They said, why did they sub Braxton Lee out of the game? It's a good question, Matt. We'll get there in a moment. 0-1 pitch is low, and the count 1-1 strike. Well, Braxton Lee seemed to me, again, this is just what I saw, but he looked like he was a little bit, hobbling a little bit on his way to second base. Don't know what that could have been. Pitch, swung on the ground, looks like it's headed towards center field. It's past the outstretched reach of Trevor Achenbach. Runner on first base now with one away. So it might have been an injury in that case to Braxton Lee. But it's tough to say. I mean, you really can't say without knowing. And Susan H. says, we need a break with all these hits. I think we do. I mean, between the two teams, you have 17 hits across 5 1/3 innings. The Blue Crabs are getting hits. If you put up 6 hits, you'd expect more than 1 run, but that's been the case against Joe Iorio tonight. Pitch, low and in. Count 1 ball and no strikes. 9-1 Long Island. 2 in the first on a 2-run shot from De Aza. 5 in the fifth, or 5 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth. And the pitch is fouled back. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 9-1. The Ducks over the Blue Crabs tonight. Put up crooked numbers in 3 different innings. 2 in the first, again 5 in the third. It's 2 in the fifth. Sue Lynn's gone deep twice tonight. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss from Walker. Count 1 and 2. Jared Walker with a single and a double tonight. He did make a costly error in the fifth, but by and large has been pretty good tonight, especially at the plate. Home run robbed from the Blue Crabs. 1-2 pitch, line drive, foul back behind home plate. This has just not been their night, as the Ducks have gotten the fielding when they've needed it. They've been able to work out of jams when they've needed to. The only batter in their lineup who has an RBI isn't in the lineup anymore. He had a single and a double as he exited the ball game after his RBI double. It's actually at the end of the half of the inning. He did stay on base there as the 1-2 is popped foul third base side. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sue Lynn played parts of 4 seasons with the Red Sox. And the 1-2 is low. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. In 2017, he played 25 games. In 2018, 37 games. In 2019, he played 13 games. And in 2020, he played 26. Across his time in the majors, had a 223 batting average. 2-2 pitches fouled back, and the count remains 2-2 on Walker. Well, that's the big reason it's 9-1 right now. The shortstop, who has 2 home runs, 1 to right and 1 to center, off of Alcides Herrera. Again, I'd be interested to see what direction the Blue Crabs go in here in the top of the 6th. Well, the 2-2 is upstairs. Count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Jared Walker digs in from the left side. This one's gotten ugly early. And a toss over to first base to check on Zach Collier, who's not going anywhere. So far tonight, Iorio has gone 5 1/3, 6 hits, 1 run. He's walked 2. He's struck out 2. Again, 8 base runners for the Blue Crabs, and just 1 run to show for it. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Walker goes down on strikes. They're 2 away.
The catcher, number 2, Ryan Haug.
And Ryan Haug will come to the plate. first pitch to Ryan Howe is up and away. And the count, 1 ball, no balls and 1 strike. And the 0-1 pitch, that's upstairs. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, count 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch, that's a little away. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. With Ryan Haug at the plate. Zach Collier off of first. 9-1 Ducks in the pitch. Line drive, very well struck. Deep left field. This one back to the warning track at the wall. It's off the wall. Collier slides into second. He's got a 2-out double, or it's Ryan Haug who has a 2-out double. Collier slides into third. So Ryan Haug belted one to left. It's off the wall. Blue Crabs have 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. At this point, down by 8 runs. The Blue Crabs have more than enough work to do, but they do have 2 in scoring position. And here comes Michael Baca. Again, the Blue Crabs are getting the hits. We've been over this a number of times. They're only getting out hit 11-7. And it's not like they don't have the base runners either. I mean, the Blue Crabs have been walked twice. For Long Island, they've only had 1 walk. So total base runners is 12-9. You told me 12-9 base runners. I think you might have a 1-run game. It's an 8-run game. And here's the pitch to Baca. Called strike on the outside corner. It's the consistency. It's the hitting with runners in scoring position. It's really plagued the Blue Crabs recently. You score 2 here, at least you built up some momentum. Getting a hit here is critical. 0-1. That's low. Oh, it's a called strike. Went a little below the zone, but a called strike nonetheless from Joe Iglio. And the count 0-2. Susan H. says we need a break with all these hits. Wes says we got it. Let's get on it. Let's go. 0-2 pitch. Away. Count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. It's Haug off of second base. Pitch, line drive. Oh, what a catch by the second baseman, Achenbach. Oh, my, that ball was headed into right field for a 2 RBI single. Instead, it's Achenbach who reaches up and snags it, stealing a hit from Michael Baca, stealing 2 runs from the Blue Crabs. It's been that kind of night, folks. It's been every single time it looks like it's going to go the Blue Crabs' way. It's a Ducks fielder who comes up with a miraculous play to either rob a home run, to steal a 2 RBI single. And for Southern Maryland, every time on the mound, it seems like things just aren't going their way. New pitcher comes in the game for the Blue Crabs. We'll break down the numbers on the new pitcher when we come back. It's 9-1 Ducks on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Okay, fans, it's time for NASCAR. This is a Lot Photo winner. Congratulations to Instagram user @DucksFan2010.
This is Daryl Thompson, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, Phil Caulfield gets things started in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch is inside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes on Caulfield. 1 ball, no strikes, nobody out. And Nick Wells is the new pitcher for the Blue Crabs. And the 1-0 pitch is a called 1-0 pitch is the called strike. Count 1-1. Well, Nick Wells is 3-3 on the season, a 4.46 earned run average. Last pitched on August 24th against York. Pitched an inning and allowed a run, 2 hits, and a walk. 1-1 pitches away, count 2-1. He's done best as a reliever this year. He has not found much success as a starter. And the numbers as a reliever and the numbers as a starter is starkly different. Lefty deals in the 2-1 pitch. This one, 3-hopper over to second base. Fielded by Wolanski. It's a bad throw. DeLuca went diving for it. Couldn't make the catch. And he's going to be safe at first base. It's been that kind of day for the Blue Crabs. An error against Michael Wolanski.
Second baseman, number 47, Trevor Achenbach.
As Trevor Achenbach comes to the plate. All right, folks. Well, let's talk about something a little more fun than trailing 9-1 in a ball game. As Trevor Achenbach digs in. I do have my car with me here on Long Island, so the bagel reviews aren't done yet. We hope to find a spot that's significantly better than the 3 spots we went to in New Jersey. We went to La Bagel, we went to Sam I Am Bagel, and we went to, what was that last place called? The Mexican food and bagel spot. It's not so good. 1-0 pitch, foul back. I mean, it was okay, but I'm not sure it was much better than what you can get at the local Safeway. You know, 1-0 pitch is foul back. Count 1 ball and 1 strike on Achenbach. So now that we're on Long Island, I cannot say in Long Island. Believe me, I will get grief for that. As the 1-1 pitch way up and away gets past Ryan Haug, runner advancing from first to second. And the count 2-1. So I will get to visit 2 spots. I'll visit 1 spot tomorrow morning. And we'll go to the other spot on Thursday morning. I'll give you the updates during the game, don't worry. And then we'll be in Lancaster for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you have anywhere you'd like me to visit in Lancaster, please let me know in that YouTube chat. And I'll try to get there, and I'll try to review it. We're not too far from Gettysburg, I don't think. So maybe I can spend a morning over there. We'll try to at least do something in the city before it's time for the playoffs, at which point it's really time to buckle down and pick up some postseason victories. 2-1 pitch. Popped up, first base side. It's Joe DeLuca out of the outfield grass who, oh my, and it's no one's going to catch the ball. Oh no. DeLuca and Wolanski converge. No one called the other off. And the ball drops in right field. It hit off of, I thought it was DeLuca's glove, might have hit off of Wolanski's glove. It was like a double error. Oh, that was really, really bad there. The Blue Crabs here in the 6th inning have let the defense completely fall off a cliff here. Oh my. Well, it was the bats just not driving in runs, getting unlucky, and now it's the infield. An error by Wolanski. I'm not sure who that's going to go against. I couldn't tell who. Their gloves were right next to each other, and it hit off of one of their gloves. I mean, you got to call each other off. And the pitch is a called strike on Deaza, count 0-1. Runners on first and second now with nobody out. There are a lot of games you look back to over the course of the season and say, oof, this is one of the worst games we played this year. For the Blue Crabs, between the bats and the fielding, this has got to be down there as one of the worst they played. And the 0-1 pitch, broken back rounder. This one, it's Baca who can't handle it. Everybody's going to be safe again. Oh, went through the legs of Wells. He should have fielded it. If he fielded it, he's at least out at second base. I think that's another error. We're going to have to see what that goes down as, a hit or an error. Oh, my goodness. Do we have 3 errors on 3 consecutive plays? We'll have to see what they're going to call that, a hit or an error. I think that's an E6. I mean, considering how well Baca's played today, you don't really fault him for it, but it's a tough, don't get me wrong, it's not an easy play. I mean, he's got to get behind the bag there, and he's got a runner who's sliding in. Oh, my, we could be out of this inning. Instead, the bases are loaded with nobody out. Pitch, a called strike on Davidson Romero on the count 0-1. First 3 batters of the inning reach on 3 errors, and they have not yet ruled that last play a hit or an error. The official it is listed right now as official score ruling pending. Pitches hit high in the air, shallow left field, long run for Sundberg, who gets under it. Oh, and he made the catch. And there's one away. Throw to the plate's a really good one. Nearly got him, but Howe didn't hang on to the baseball either. It's going to be a sacrifice fly. That one on a ground ball to short is going to be ruled a hit. They have not yet decided who the error is going against for the previous play, but it's now 10-1 Ducks on the sacrifice fly. After 3 consecutive plays that could have been made by this infield. Well, Nick Wells doesn't have to worry about earned runs probably, but this has been a tough inning for the Blue Crabs defense. He is responsible for Alejandro De Aza over on second base because of, it was just ruled a hit moments ago, although I don't know if you can, I'd imagine he reaches second on the throw, so that probably would not count as earned if he scored in a single. Pitch is a called strike, count 0-1 on Jose Sermo. Unlucky tonight for Nick Wells. Error by the second baseman, Michael Wolanski, on a ground ball. Very routine play. Pitch is low, count 1-1. A pop-up over by first base. DeLuca and Wolanski converge. Neither one catches the baseball. It's been that kind of night for the Blue Crabs. And Nick Wells, the left-handed pitcher, has done all right since entering the ball game. But things have really gone south here. 1-1 pitch upstairs, count 2-1. Velocity is something you really want to keep an eye on here with Wells as far as how he's doing. And the cutter's down. It's not where it has been. He's a guy who, when he's throwing his best, he's at 90 to 92. He's at 88, touching 90. As the 2-1 pitch is upstairs, count 3-1. His average is 89 tonight. So things really have been 89. Well, the cutter as well has been 87. So he throws a cutter, a sinker, and a four-seamer is what the TrackMan recognizes. In total, he's thrown 10 fastballs, and they have ranged between 87 and 90. And a 3-1 pitch, up and away, it's ball 4. Bases are loaded again for the Ducks with 1 out. So back to the bagel spots, though. We're going to find a couple of good spots. I'm going to check the reviews tomorrow before I go. We don't want to run into a spot where you're like, you go there and you just say, ooh, not a good bagel spot. You know, we're in Long Island. We're on Long Island. You know, we could go to the local Dunkin' Donuts in Waldorf, but that's not what we're doing here. I mean, it's sort of like Wall's Bakery, right? I mean, Wall's Bakery's got some of the best donuts. You go to Wall's because they've got the great donuts, and you know, here we are in New York, and New York, New Jersey, these should be good bagel spots, but so far we've gotten a mixed bag at best. My hometown bagel spot in Connecticut, significantly better than the 3 spots we've been to. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss from Carlos Castro on the count 0-1. Well, the Blue Crabs are in a spot right now where
they trail 10-1. This could easily be a close game, but every single break has gone against Southern Maryland. Between the leaping grab from Trevor Achenbach, Carlos Castro robbing a home run, an error by Jared Walker that could have cost as many as 3 runs. Another error here in the 6th inning by Michael Wolanski that cost at least 1. They're still deciding who that second error went against. That's the way it goes sometimes. Not the Blue Crabs' night. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, count 0-2. A couple of big breaking balls from Nick Wells. And the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And Castro steps back in. Nick Wells was drafted right out of high school in the 3rd round. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball foul, third base side. 8 years in the minor league system. Made it to AAA a couple of times, but never ended up pitching in the big leagues. Last year across AA and AAA, a 4.96 earned run average. Blue Crabs had Bradley Roney, who was also in AAA last year. So earlier in the season, they had Roney. Wolanski appeared in AAA last season. DeLuca in AAA this year briefly. Braxton Lee was in AAA last year. A lot of AAA guys from a season ago. 2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Carlos Castro down swinging, and there are 2 outs. And here comes Joe DiCarlo with the bases loaded and 2 outs following the strikeout from Nick Wells on Carlos Castro. Now we're on the bottom of the 6th inning. Just past 8:40 on the East Coast. And again, fans, if you have any other recommendations of where you'd like me to go, a spot to review, let us know. And the pitch called strike. Wes Mumper has a couple of comments here. He says, what's going on? This is making us look like a last-place team. He and Wes goes, no bagels for you, Austin. You're taking BP tomorrow. Well, I might just have to. Pitch called strike on the outside corner, count 0-2. But I'll check it out. Let us know where you'd like me to go, because I'd love to check out a couple of spots before the game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'd imagine it will be a late-night drive from Long Island to Lancaster on Thursday night. Post-game, pitch a little bit low, and the count 1-2. Our trivia question still stands, though, if you'd like to answer that. How many players with major league experience are on these 2 rosters combined? There are 4 for the Blue Crabs. We'll give you that hint as the 1-2 pitch is low, count 2-2. On the pitcher's side for Southern Maryland, Darrell Thompson has pitched in the major leagues. Eddie Butler pitched 5 years in the big leagues. Of course, Matt Latos in the MLB. For the Bats, Braxton Lee had a brief stint with the Marlins in Major League Baseball. 2-2 pitch, just a little outside, count 3-2. Thompson and Lee really just got their cup of coffee in the big leagues. Butler was there for 5 years, and Latos in the MLB for 8. DiCarlo digs back in. Count now 3-2 on the righty. Runners will be in motion. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Nick Wells works out of a jam that he did not cause. A duo of errors from the Blue Crabs over on the right side of the infield. Allowed 1 run to come around and score. And the Blue Crabs and Nick Wells strand 3 runners. He did strike out 2 at the end of 6 innings of play. It's the Ducks who have a 10-1 lead over Southern Maryland on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ryan Haug, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Well, it's Jack Sundberg who digs in from the left side. First pitch to the lefties, a called strike from Chaz Sywin, who enters with a 9-run lead for the Ducks. Wes Mumper says, okay, top 7. Let's use these 3 innings to get 11 to 15 runs. All right, 0-1 pitch. It's a little away in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's a tall order, you ask, Wes. I guess nothing out of the question, though. 1-1 pitch. Inside, count 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, nobody out on Jack Sundberg, who nearly homered his last time up. Instead, it was robbed by Carlos Castro. 2-1 pitch. It's a called strike, count 2-2. A recent power streak from Jack Sundberg. Believe me, he's I don't think he's used to it either. 2-2 pitch, fouled off third base side. I was talking to him the other day, and he's saying, yeah, he's been striking out a little more, but he's a contact guy, really is what Sundberg's been throughout the course of his career. A lot of singles and doubles and walks. But the home runs coming recently, and look, I don't think he's going to turn down the home runs. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. This one hit toward right center field. It's the right fielder who gives way to the center fielder, Deaza, who makes the catch in front of the Chisella side. Look, he's almost gone deep twice tonight. Once actually made it over the wall and was pulled back by Castro. That one hit to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark in right center. And this ballpark will hold it on the deep fly out, and there is 1 out. Give you the official distance on that fly out from Jack Sundberg once it's available. That was hit 350 feet out to right center field. And the pitch to Wolanski is fouled off first base side, count 0-1 on the righty. Wolanski walked his last time up. Made a mistake in the field, though. And the 0-1 pitch a little away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll have to see if that play was ever ruled back in the 6th, early in the 6th inning. As we're now on the 7th, 10-1 Long Island. 1-1 pitch is away, count 2-1. Who that error went against? Both went against Wolanski. 2-1 pitch, swinging a high fly ball, shallow left center field. It is the left fielder. That's Zach Rakusin who takes charge and makes the catch. And there are 2 away in the top of the 7th inning. It's Matt Hibbert who comes to the plate with 2 away in the top of the 7th. Hibbert does have a hit today. You go up and down this Blue Crabs lineup tonight, and you can look at a lot of the positives that some of the guys, really did at the plate. I mean, Lee was 2 for 2 before he exited, had an RBI. Hibbert 1 for 1. Collier 1 for 3. Walker 2 for 3. Haug 1 for 3. Baca walked and scored a run. 0-1. The first pitch is swung on and missed. Count 0-1. I mean, they're not completely devoid of hits and opportunities. Pitch is a called strike at the knees. Count no balls and 2 strikes.
I would be interested to see the direction the Blue Crabs go with the bullpen from here. Again, it's almost impossible to tell what's going on out there other than the fact that you can see a ball thrown every once in a while above the wall. As the 0-2 pitch, swing and a foul tip. And the count 0-2 it remains. There is some sort of action in the Blue Crabs bullpen. It is beyond the left field wall. The Dang Barbecue wall in left, or advertisement in left. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch, check swing, did he go? No, he did not, according to the first base umpire, Silvio Martinez. So Southern Maryland trailing 10-1. And the 1-2 pitch. That's low, count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And here's the 2-2 pitch to Hibbert. 1 away, count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the 7th inning. Here's the 3-2 offering from Chad Sissom. The pitch is a called strike 3. Chaz Silent, I beg your pardon, strikes out Matt Hibbert to end the top of the 7th inning. The Blue Crabs go down in order to end the top of the 7th as Hibbert goes down looking. We are finished with 6.5. It's 10-1 Ducks. It's time for the 7th inning stretch on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Come stay at the Holiday Inn Express Waldorf, where teamwork makes the dream work. A proud sponsor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and your home away from home. The Holiday Inn Express is located at 11,370 Days Court. That's 11370 Days Court, Waldorf, near the Waldorf Shoppers World Shopping Center. Call 301-932-9200 to make a reservation or look us up at ihg.com or on the IHG app. Come put your feet up and enjoy the complimentary free breakfast and indoor heated pool at the Holiday Inn Express, Waldorf.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Sue Lin who leads off against the new pitcher, the lefty Dario Polanco, and the count 0-1 as the first pitch strike. Well, Blue Crabs using quite a few lefties. You know, they have left is Mitch Lamson, I guess. They use their 2 lefty arms out of the bullpen. Their left-handed starter, Alcides Herrera. Breaking ball, a big wave and a miss from Sue Lin, and the count 0-2. Seems to not have affected Lin at all as the lefty-lefty matchup has played into his favor. He has 2 home runs and the Ducks 10-1 advantage. Polanco gets his sign from Haug. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs, count 1-2. Let's talk a little bit about the World Baseball Classic. This ball game is not all that competitive, so a World Baseball Classic should be a lot of fun. That's coming up soon. So here's how this all works. As the pitch fouled back, and the count 1-2 strikes. So there is Pool A, right, and it is a double elimination qualifying. So 2 teams who are designated as the top 2, Czech Republic and Germany, they get byes to the semifinals. Right? I'll get there in just one moment. 1-2 pitch. That's low, count 2-2. So Czech Republic and Germany, they get byes. Now there are 4 teams that don't get byes. There's South Africa and Spain. The winner of that game will play Czech Republic in the semifinal. And there's Great Britain and France. The winner of that game will play Germany. Now you might ask, well, what does this have anything to do with the Blue Crabs? It's a good question. The Blue Crabs, as the 2-2 pitch is low, have 2 players and 1 former player who are playing for Team Great Britain. Alex Crosby will be playing for Team Great Britain, Raul Shah, and Kent Blackstone. All 3 of them on the Great Britain team. So how do you qualify for the World Baseball Classic then? 3-2 pitch is away. It's ball 4. And so Sue Lin works a walk here in the bottom of the 7th. So if you, we talked about the semifinals. So if Great Britain were to beat France, they played Germany. If they were to beat Germany, and that would be the winner's bracket finals. So if you win the winner's bracket, you get your bye, you're already done. You win 3 games, you're done. For Czech Republic and Germany, you win 2 games and you're done. Now, if you lose that first round matchup, you go to the loser's bracket. Now, you don't want to go to the loser's bracket, that's for sure. It makes it just that much more difficult to qualify. And the first pitch called strike, and the count 0-1 on Zach Rakusin. And the pitch, that's a called strike. Count 0-2 on Rakusin. Breaking ball, ground ball over towards shortstop. It's fielded over at short by Baca. Toss to second for 1. Back onto first. It's a double play. And so there are now 2 away. Nicely turned 6-4-3 double play as Baca flipped to Wolanski back onto first. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th. Back to this last point here, though. I was just looking through the seeding, the scheduling. So even if you go to the loser's bracket, of course, every game from there on out is an elimination game. So there, you know, you still only have to win 2 games. It's not impossible. If you lose that first round matchup, but if you lose in the, even if you lose in the second round, though, you got to go to that semifinal. Only if you lose in the championship game do you get the opportunity to only to play in the championship. So if you lose in the winner's bracket final, you go to the loser's bracket final, and if you win the loser's bracket, you win it all too. So you do have to win 3 games in the loser's bracket as well. So it's not easy no matter what way you cut it. Pitch, ground ball over to shortstop. It's fielded by Baca. The throw to first is in time, and that ends the bottom of the 7th inning. We can talk a little more about this when we come back. At the end of 7, it's the Ducks who have a 10-1 lead over the Blue Crabs on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Oh, David Harris is coming to the plate to get things started in the top of the 8th inning. I did leave one person off of the list of the former Blue Crabs who was on Team Great Britain. I just saw this between innings that Mackenzie Mills is also on Team Great Britain as the first pitch is a called strike, count 0-1. So just to get this straight, the 4 players who were on Team Great Britain, 0-1 pitch. Ground ball, this one over towards shortstop. It's fielded by Su Wei Lin. The throw to first in time to get David Harris, and there's one out. So the Blue Crabs have, just to get this straight, it's Raul Shah and Alex Crosby of players who are currently on the roster. And then players who are not on the roster, the Blue Crabs had Kent Blackstone last season. He was also here in 2019. He's on Team Great Britain, as is Mackenzie Mills. I didn't know he was British, but I guess he's playing for Team Great Britain as well. So 4 Blue Crabs, either past or current Blue Crabs, for the Team Great Britain roster. Pitch, line drive, well struck toward left field. It sends Zach Rakusin back. He makes the catch, and there are 2 away. So again, the first round matchup for Team Great Britain is on Friday against France. It is at 7 p.m. local time in Germany. That's 1 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to watch some baseball, I believe it's actually available on YouTube on the World Baseball Classic page. I'm pretty sure. As the pitch is low, count 1 ball and no strikes. But it's a pretty good level. I think that everyone was a little disappointed that the World Baseball Classic qualifiers are during play. I mean, I'm not sure why. I don't know if there are other issues, but why couldn't they push this back till, mid-October, early October, when at least the minor league teams are done, as the 1-0 pitch is a called strike. There are not a lot of players from any of these countries in Major League Baseball, so I get that they're not going to wait until after the end of October for playoffs to be over for the MLB. 1-1 pitch is foul back, count 1-2. But AAA's playoffs are going on, AA as well. The minor league playoffs finish up same time that the Atlantic League playoffs finish up. So it's just a little weird they didn't push this back, because AA and AAA players that would like to play for these countries also are not available, as well as high A and low A players as well, who might be good enough to play on these teams. So that's really the only issue. But yeah, it's a situation that they're working through right now. I'd have to imagine that Mackenzie Mills will be one of the Team Great Britain top starters for these World Baseball Classic qualifiers. They'll play in Armin Wolf Arena. It's in Germany. And it can seat 3,100 spectators. And the pitch called strike 3. Crosby goes down looking. That ends the top of the 8th inning. It's 10-1 Long Island as we go to the bottom of the 8th on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
This is Ian Yetzko, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, Trevor Achenbach comes to the plate with the Ducks on top 10-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dario Polanco returns for the bottom of the 8th. It's 10 runs on 12 hits for the Ducks, 1 run on 7 hits for the Blue Crabs. First pitch, ground ball slowly toward third. Tough play for Walker. He fields and can't fire. And there is the leadoff man on first base. I think that it's best that the Blue Crabs figure out now what they want their defensive alignment to be moving forward, because you don't want to be tinkering with that come playoff time. And if it means that one of, whether it's Joe DeLuca or Jared Walker or Ryan Haug or one of the outfielders has to come out of the lineup, then so be it, if that's what it's going to take to make sure that this defense is set. Walker's made 2 errors made 1 error over there at third base. This last one, I think it was probably the right decision to eat the ground ball. But I'd be interested to see if the Blue Crabs do opt to move Wolanski over to third. And the first pitch, a called strike, count 0-1. He had 2 errors today at second base. So, I mean, say what you will, but he did not have the night he was looking for at second base tonight. 0-1 pitch, line drive towards center field. It's Collier who drifts back and makes the catch just to the right of his body. And there's one away. So 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning, 10-1 Long Island. So far, Polanco has been the best arm for Southern Maryland. Wells was good, did not allow an earned run. But defensively, Wolanski made 2 errors in the 6th inning. It did cost the Blue Crabs a run. And meanwhile, it was Jared Walker who made an error in the 3rd inning. All 5 of Alcides Herrera's runs went down as unearned as a result, as would have been the 2nd out in the inning, and the next batter flied out, so that would have been out number 3. Not to say that the additional runs that came thereafter would not have just happened in the following inning, but that would have ended the inning. So would have at least saved 2 runs, but potentially as many as 5. 1-0 pitch to Romero, upstairs in the count 2-0. Let's just play it conservatively here and say that saves 2 runs. Wolanski's error saves 1 run. It's down to 7-1 right now. And then 2 outstanding plays in the field, defensively out and right by Carlos Castro, including robbing a home run. That's a 2-run shot. It's then 7-3, and a 2 RBI saving catch by Trevor Achenbach, and it's a 7-5 ball game. So this game is not necessarily it shouldn't necessarily be out of reach. And this is a game that could easily be 7-4 or 7-5 right now. 3-0 pitch also misses. That's a little up and away. It's ball 4. But it's 10-1, and it looks really bad. But a lot of this is due to mistakes in the field and due to terrific fielding from the Ducks. And that's the difference the Blue Crabs have to deal with right now. And Jose Sermo comes to the plate. I mean, Nick Wells, he pitched an inning. He struck out 2. He did allow a hit. He also allowed a walk. That hit was, to be completely fair to Wells, I mean, barely a hit. Was a ground ball toward second base that Baca got to and couldn't handle. And again, you don't want to fault Baca for a play like that, as there was a player sliding in. I mean, could he have made the play? Yes. Was it a difficult play? Yes. And the official score opted to call that a base hit, but there were still 3 miscues in the field on 3 consecutive plays. Throwing error by Wolanski, a catching error by Wolanski. It's a ball that DeLuca had called Wolanski off on a pop-up, and then Wolanski was there. I guess he hadn't gotten called off fully, and then Wolanski tried to grab it from DeLuca, and I mean, those are just communication errors that should be sorted out by a team that has played this well this season. Well, either way, the first pitch to Jose Sermo is a little low and away. Count 1 ball and no strikes on the righty. But yeah, we still have a few days until the World Baseball Classic, so you don't have to get excited quite yet, as the first pitch is a called strike. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. So, of course, there are many teams that have already qualified. As the pitch, this one gets past the catcher, Haug, and all the way to the backstop. It allows both base runners to advance. So now runners on second and third with 1 out. So you're wondering who's already there? Well, Australia. Funny enough, they've already qualified. They're ranked 10th in the world. That might be surprising to some. Surprising to me, to be honest. Canada's behind them at 12th. China qualified, they're 21st. Chinese Taipei is second in the world rankings. Japan is first. The United States is 5th. Mexico 4th. Venezuela is 6th. Netherlands rank 8th. South Korea is 3rd. Sorry, I know I'm going a little out of order here, but the pitch, this one, swinging a high fly ball to right. The right fielder, Matt Hibbert, is there. He makes the catch. He fires into Wolanski, the cutoff man, and meanwhile, the run comes in and scores from third base. And it is a 11-1 lead. As another run crosses for Long Island. As Davidson Romero had reached on a walk initially and found himself on third base. Or beg your pardon, that was Trevor Achenbach. Romero is on second. So 11-1 Ducks. That's the score in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Romero's on second. It's Carlos Castro at the plate. Southern Maryland has only had 3 innings in this ball game where they have not allowed a run. The 2nd, the 4th, and the 7th, as the first pitch is low to Carlos Castro. And again, we talk about the myriad of factors that leads to that, but one way or another, it's too many runs allowed today. Pitch, ground ball into right field for a base hit. Hibbert comes up throwing. He's going to keep the runners where they are. Well, Romero advances from second to third. Romero decides to hold up at third. And over at first base, Castro's not trying to push for second base. So 11 runs on 14 hits for the Ducks tonight. And an 11-1 ball game. And Joe DiCarlo comes to the plate with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Other scores around the league. Lancaster will clinch tonight. They lead 10-4 over York. Should they hold on, that will do it for the Blue Crabs. Chase trying to catch them atop the division. That's in the bottom of the 7th. Lexington over Charleston 8-7. So the Barnstormers will clinch a playoff spot. Staten Island over Wild Health 4-0 right now. It seems like they're playing their best baseball at the wrong time. Meanwhile, Gastonia over High Point 7-2. That last series between the Blue Crabs and Barnstormers was setting up to be a good one. 1-0 pitch on the ground to short. It's fielded by Baca. He'll flip to second for the final out. It's 11-1 Ducks at the end of 8. One more thing, though, on that. It's going to be a little awkward. Both those teams will have then clinched the playoffs. They're divisional rivals. They're going to then play each other in the first round of the divisional series. I think it's going to give both teams a chance to get a feel for each other right before the end of the year. With that said, they've already played 15 times, so they do know each other quite well. And you probably don't want to give up all you're not going to pitch your best guys in that 3-game set. So, well, either way, the Blue Crabs trail 11-1 tonight. We go to the top of the 9th inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Well, back for the top of the ninth inning, and the Blue Crabs certainly have their work cut out for them. It's 11-1. Here is the first pitch. Line drive, really well hit toward down the first base line. It's going to go for extra bases. Jared Walker round second, and the right fielder, that's Carlos Castro, has trouble with it, and Walker trots into third easily with the stand-up triple. So runner on third base with nobody out for the Blue Crabs. Third hit of the night for Walker. He'll finish a home run shy of the cycle. That's barring a crazy rally here in the top of the ninth inning. But, yeah, a triple for Jared Walker to get things started. A single came back in the second inning. A double in the fifth and a triple here in the ninth. He is 3 for 4 tonight. Good to see him hit the ball well. As the Blue Crabs face off against Nick Trabacki. Even if Walker were to come to the plate again in the first pitch, a little up and in, count 1-0. At that point, the Blue Crabs probably still would be quite far behind. I mean, even if there was no one on base, they hadn't gotten out yet, and all the runs have been in, the best they could be is down 11-10. So they've got a long ways to go. Down 11-1 right now. It's almost silly to even propose that based on the current score line of 11-1. Haug nearly hit as the 1-0 pitch came way up and in. Count 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Crabs with a 3-game set against the Ducks. The Blue Crabs at home finished 7-2 against Long Island. Just 2-4 on the road. They'll drop to 2-5 tonight at Fairfield Properties Ballpark. Pitch called strike. Count 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. With Jared Walker, who has a short lead off of third base. 2-1 pitch, breaking balls upstairs, count 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. It does seem sort of fitting for the Blue Crabs to pick up a rally here in the ninth because it is a 11-1 ball game. Too little, too late would be the answer. But pitch, this one popped up foul, first base side. All right, well, Susan H. has come up with some bagel spots. She says, Austin, I asked a friend that lives on Long Island for bagel places and said, S.A. Bagel in New York City, H&H is in Seinfeld, and Tompkins Square. All right. H&H if you like Seinfeld and Tompkins Square. Oh, I see. 3-2 pitch. That one's a little in. It's ball 4. I thought originally read it as in Seinfeld, if you like Seinfeld. But, yeah, we'll try to give a couple of these places a try. They're not, 45 minutes out of the way. We'll see what we can do. Mills is Jamaican, which is a territory of Great Britain, so that makes sense. Very interesting. Very interesting. I always thought Jamaica was an independent country. I guess not. Pitch, line drive toward right field. Way back. This one's going to be off the wall. Michael Baca goes for extra bases. It's Walker who scores from third. An RBI double from Michael Baca. Haug to third, Baca to second. It's 11-2 as Michael Baca goes opposite field off the wall in right. And it's an 11-2 ball game here in the top of the ninth inning. And it's Jack Sundberg who comes to the plate. So 7, 8, and 9 do some damage here in the top of the ninth. The RBI double from Baca, and the Blue Crabs trail 11-2. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. So it is the British Overseas Territory of Cayman Islands is nearby, but it seems like Jamaica is an independent island nation. I'd imagine because they were British at some point. His parents are probably British citizens, which probably makes him eligible. 0-1 pitch, top foul, first base side. Runners on second and third with nobody out. And it was declared independent in 1962, for those of you wondering, Jamaica. So interesting. It must be that his parents are citizens, and that made him eligible. 0-2 pitch, line drive, foul, third base side. You hear about it in association football, soccer here in the U.S. quite a bit, where you'll see guys who were born in England who may have had parents from Caribbean island nations or Central American nations that make them eligible to come back and play for that country. 0-2 pitch. That's away. Count 1-2. It's pretty cool, I will say, in one sense. With that said, though, I mean, if you're only allowed to pick from a crop of players who were born in that nation itself, it would make it a little different. Make it more difficult for those countries to compete, for sure. 1-2 pitch comes low and in, count 2-2. It's really interesting to see Puerto Rico, who are, for whatever reason, independent for the World Baseball Classic. Same for FIFA and World Cup qualifying. Puerto Rico competes independently of the U.S. And they've got some outstanding players for baseball. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, third base side from Jack Sundberg. 11-2 now. Blue Crabs got to run back here in the top of the ninth inning with runners on second and third and nobody out. It's Baca from second. It is Haug from third. And they're finally getting hits off of, the 2-2 pitch is away. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes off of Nick Trabacchia, or Nick Trabacchia, I should say. But the Blue Crabs trying to rally here in the ninth. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Sundberg. At this point, just get on base. That's sort of the idea. 3-2 pitch, swinging a line drive, very well struck to right center field. Long run, and it's going to fall for a base hit. 1 run will score. They're going to wave Baca to the plate. Now they're going to hold him at third. It's a very long and well-hit single from Jack Sundberg, who smoked it to right center. I don't think he thought he was going to get a hit there, as the right fielder Carlos Castro ranged over. Might have gotten a piece of it. Either way, it's a base hit for Sundberg. It's an RBI single as well, as another run comes in and scores, but it is an 11-3 ball game as Michael Wolanski comes to the plate. That one goes down as a hit. I would be stunned if that had gone down as an error. So Sundberg, despite the fact that his homer was robbed, he does finish with a hit today, and he goes 1 for 5 with an RBI. First pitch, swing and a foul tip from Michael Wolanski, who's 0 for 3 today. His batting average down to 267. He started red hot, and he's a really good hitter. We've seen him swing the bat well. Just more recently, things haven't gone his way. Good chance to get things going here in the ninth inning while the team's got a rally as the pitch is low and away. Count 1 ball and 1 strike now on the righty. So did not know that about Jamaica, and that a lot of those players would then qualify as British player swinging a high fly ball. This one belted to left center. Back at the warning track at the wall. That ball's gone. 3-run shot from Michael Wolanski, and it's now 11-6 here in the ninth. Still nobody out as Baca scores and Sundberg scores. And Michael Wolanski, you want a guy like him to really break out and start to hit the ball well. Wolanski goes deep, and the Blue Crabs are back within 5 runs in a 5-run ninth inning. It's his 8th home run of the season. All 8 coming with the Blue Crabs, and he's doing damage against his former team, the Long Island Ducks. And now there's going to be a meeting at the mound as the Ducks reliever, Nick Trabacki, has found himself in quite a bit of trouble. He has faced 5 batters, and all 5 have since come around to score. And the Ducks trying to get things back on the right track. I'm not sure Mike Weidemeyer, the pitching coach, said anything of note to Nick Trabacki. He went up there and clapped a bunch of times, and now he's walking back to the dugout. But hey, I guess whatever it takes, right? I mean, I'd imagine that Mark Weidemeyer has had quite a few meetings on the mound over the course of his career, just trying to give him a moment. And Hibbert now comes to the plate, down by 5. It's 11-6 here in this one. Pitch, that's a called strike. Again, we talked about too little, too late for Southern Maryland. And there's an interesting note I heard from Michael Kay some years back. And Michael Kay said, home runs can sometimes be rally stoppers. And to an extent, I think he's right. Pitch, ground ball. This one, a tough one for the shortstop. Throw to first. Oh, and the first baseman, that's Sermo, couldn't hang on to it. The shortstop, Sue Lin, threw a good throw. It was a little low. That was one that Sermo probably should have picked, but instead, he's safe at first base. It's an 11-6 ball game. An error by Sue Lin. I don't know. I think that might be on Sermo. Either way, it is David Harris who will come to the plate, an E6. Though it might give Nick Trabacki a little help down the stretch here. Still nobody out in the top of the ninth inning. Blue Crabs still have plenty of work to do against Nick Trabacki. The first pitch, this one swinging a high fly ball, shallow right. Oh, and now Carlos Castro's going to have trouble with it. That ball's going to drop. Oh, my, the errors. They are piling up now. Oh, my. Carlos Castro, who robbed a home run earlier this ball game, just lost that ball to the lights in right field. I'll tell you what, the Atlantic League has had some really good baseball over the course of the year. This might be the worst game of Atlantic League baseball you'll see all year long, between the errors and the misplays, and it's one thing after the next. I mean, it is really bad. Either way, it is now Joe DeLuca who comes to the plate with runners on first and second and no outs, down by 5 runs. Can they continue the rally against Nick Trabacki, which really isn't his fault at this point, as they made 2 errors, really bad ones at that. And the first pitch is up and away, and count 1-0. Oh, my goodness. All the breaks starting to go the way of the Blue Crabs here in the ninth after 5 runs have come in and scored. It's Hibbert on second. It's Harris on first. The pitch low and in. And did it hit him? Yeah, it did. Bases are loaded. We just heard a fan who said, take the pitcher out. I can't imagine Nick Trabacki's going to be in here much longer. And the yells to take him out of the ballgame continue. And now just the meeting between the catcher DeCarlo and the pitcher Trabacki. The bases are loaded. It's Crosby from third. It's Harris on second. It's DeLuca on first. Collier at the plate. And now it's Jared Walker who's on deck, who represents the tying run. I mean, I didn't think we'd be here at the top of the ninth. It was 11-1 coming in. It's now 11-6. And after DeLuca was hit by the pitch, this game has, well, it's a lot closer than it was to start the inning. You don't want to surrender this lead at this point in the ball game. But you'd have to imagine they've got arms up and warming. Oh, and now Wally Backman is going to make the move. He's seen enough. And rightfully so. Wally Backman makes the call into the bullpen. We'll have to see who he brings in. Is it Tyler Webb? Let's see who he goes to in that closing spot, but that's enough. Nick Trabacki Well, he pitches 24 pitches. He faces 9 batters, or 8 batters, all 8 reach, 5 score, and the bases are loaded with nobody out as the Ducks bring in a new pitcher. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We go to break. We've got a fun one all of a sudden.
This is Nick Wells, and you're listening to the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Come stay at the Holiday Inn Express Waldorf, where teamwork makes the dream work. A proud sponsor of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and your home away from home. The Holiday Inn Express is located at 11,370 Days Court. That's 11370 Days Court, Waldorf, near the Waldorf Shoppers World Shopping Center. Call 301-932-9200 to make a reservation or look us up at ihg.com or on the IHG app. Come put your feet up and enjoy the complimentary free breakfast and indoor heated pool at the Holiday Inn Express, Waldorf.
Well, it's not the best game of Atlantic League baseball this year as far as the quality of play. 3 errors aside, they have not been good ones. It's 11-6 Ducks in the top of the 9th inning, but the bases loaded for the Blue Crabs. They've already scored 5 here in the inning off of Nick Trabacki, and in comes Tyler Webb, the former big leaguer, who pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals, and the pitch way up and in on Zach Collier in the count 1-0. Webb has a 3.13 ERA on the season, and he looks to get the save tonight. It wasn't, intended to be a save coming in, but with the tying run on deck, I believe it is now a save situation, despite the fact it's a 5-run game. 1-0 pitch is low, count 2-0 from Tyler Webb, at risk of walking in a run. That would bring the tying run to the plate. Last time out, he allowed 2 hits. That was at Staten Island on September the 11th. That was back on Sunday. Has not allowed an earned run in the month of September. 2-0 pitch. Swinging a line drive toward right at Castro, who makes the catch. They're going to tag and send a runner. I'm not sure why Hibbert's tagging anyway, but he's going to score. It's 11-7. Ball well struck toward right, but Tyler Webb gets a little bit lucky. It's 11-7 now. Again, I'm not sure. The reason I say I'm not sure why they're sending him is it doesn't do them much good. The double play is still intact. If he's thrown out, it doesn't give the Blue Crabs any benefit there. Just the second out of the inning. They need base runners more than anything, and it's Jared Walker who comes to the plate. It is an 11-7 ball game. He tripled earlier in the inning. He's a home run shy of the cycle. Now that would make things very interesting here. But the tying run remains on deck. It's Tyler Webb v. Jared Walker. And the first pitch. Breaking ball low and in, count 1 ball and no strikes. 11-7 Ducks, 6 runs in the 9th. We talked about too little too late. We've talked about the breaks that Long Island's had. There are a number of things you can point to where you say, if this happened in this game, if that happened in this game, things would be different. And I think now you can point to both teams for that. I mean, if there weren't errors by Sue Lin and weren't errors in right field by Carlos Castro, it'd be a different game. 1-0 pitches inside, count 2-0. Tyler Webb has thrown 5 pitches. 4 of them have been out of the zone. And so the count, 2 balls and no strikes now on Jared Walker. It's Harris from second. It's DeLuca from first. All of a sudden, it's 11-7 in the top of the 9th. The lefty deals 2-0. That's low. Count 3-0. And if he were to walk Walker, the tying run would come to the plate, and it would be Ryan Haug. So just makes this game a lot more interesting than it was to start the inning. Not that the Blue Crabs are in a good position here, down 4 runs, but they're in a much better position. 3-0 pitch, called strike, count 3-1. And it would be a massive difference if you put Walker on base here, because you put the tying run on at the plate, anything can happen at that point. Still on deck, it's not bad, but the Blue Crabs are going to need another base runner before you can bring that tying run to the plate. Again, Walker tripled earlier in this inning. Pitch popped up foul, third base side, and the count 3-2. That's exactly what Tyler Webb was looking for as he now battles back to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Harris from second, DeLuca from first. The Blue Crabs have 6 runs already in this inning. A total change from the start. It was a triple from Walker. Haug walked. An RBI double from Baca. Pitch popped up foul yet again. Back behind home plate. The count 3-2 it remains. Sundberg with a single to center field. It was deflected by Carlos Castro. That was to right center, really. That did score a run, I beg your pardon, as it was Haug who came in. Baca to third. A 3-run shot from Michael Wolanski made it an 11-5 game. And then a sacrifice fly, or beg your pardon, that was 11-6. After a throwing error and a fielding error. Pitch, line drive down the right field line. This falls for a base hit. 1 run will score. It's Harris from third. DeLuca is pulled up at second base. And this is all of a sudden an 11-8 ball game. And Ryan Haug will come to the plate as the tying run here in the 9th inning. Along with the 2 additional runners in scoring position, you could have a base hit here. This could be 11-10. Wow. This ball game has been turned on its head. 11-8, it's the closer, Tyler Webb, who has run into trouble here in the 9th. It's now an 11-8 ball game. It's DeLuca on third. It is Walker on second. This is wild. So a sacrifice fly from Matt Hibbert, an RBI double from Jared Walker, and all of a sudden you've got an 11-8 ball game. First pitch is way upstairs, count 1-0 on Haug. You don't want to walk Haug because then you put the tying run on base and the winning run or the go-ahead run at the plate, and we'll have to see if the Blue Crabs start to getting arms going in the bullpen. And what is just a bizarre ball game we've seen. 1-0 pitches up and away, count 2-0. Yeah, the fans here are heckling their closer, Tyler Webb, asking if he knows where the strike zone is. I am pretty sure he is aware. Either way, it's an 11-8 lead for the Ducks in the top of the 9th inning. Tying run at the plate. It's 11-1 to start the inning. 2-0 pitch is foul back, count 2-1. Again, 11-1 to start the inning. It is 11-8 right now, a 7-run top of the 9th inning, and the Ducks are still holding the Blue Crabs off for now. I don't think anyone thought this would happen at the start of the inning. I'm sure a lot of fans left early, said this ball game is over, and I would have agreed with them. Count 2-1. Here's the pitch. Line drive, hard hit, third base line. It's a foul ball. Oh, if that was a fair ball, it would have scored 2 and put the tying run in scoring position. Instead, the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So far in today's game, Ryan Haug is 1 for 3. He did have a double. Haug's been one of the Blue Crabs' more consistent players since returning from injury. 4 for 11 in that time frame. Takes a couple of practice swings. Here is the 2-2 pitch. That's low. It's in the dirt. Count 3-2. Webb tried to get him swinging at a pitch low and out of the zone. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes now in the top of the 9th. Raul Shah commenting and watching this ball game. He's with Team Great Britain. Maybe you can add that in as well. Add some information in. We were talking about the World Baseball Classic earlier. Oh, and Raul asked for the shout-out just as I was talking about him. 3-2 pitch. Swinging a pop-up foul back behind home plate, count 3-2. Raul, I'd already started talking about you before you asked for the shout-out, so good timing right there. Either way, the Blue Crabs trailing by 3 here in the top of the 9th. 11-8 Ducks. This is the 12th batter. I beg your pardon. He is the 11th batter to come to the plate for the Blue Crabs in this inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big-time strikeout for Tyler Webb as Ryan Haug goes down on strikes. Haug was ahead in the count 3-0. And now here comes Michael Baca. So the Blue Crabs are down to their final out. A big strikeout from Tyler Webb. This changes the course of the game nonetheless, even if the Blue Crabs end up falling here 11-8. But still, 7 runs in the 9th, showing good fight. Made this one interesting, I can tell you that much. I mean, the fielding errors, though, and it was one thing after the next. 3 errors for the Blue Crabs, 3 errors for the Ducks. Blue Crabs 8 runs on 12 hits here, and the pitch is up and in, count 1-0 on Baca. Webb has seemed to lose the zone early in the at-bat, try to get batters to swing and miss at pitches that are out of the zone, and then try to battle back later. It's not a great situation to find yourself constantly down in the count and give hitters good pitches to hit, but that's been the way things have looked so far. 1-0 pitch, big wave and a miss on a breaking ball, count 1-1. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Blue Crabs down to their final out. It's 11-8, the Ducks over the Blue Crabs. Now, speaking of Raul Shah, he had a game-tying home run back in Southern Maryland with 2 outs in the 9th inning against these very same Ducks. So it would take Michael Baca to do it now. And the pitch, just want a chopper over to third. This should do it. Davidson Romero fires the first. It's in time to end the ball game. Well, that will do it. The Blue Crabs fall tonight 11-8. They put up 7 runs in the 9th, but that is it. We have a couple other comments here we'll get to. Nice to see the bats waking up from Southern Maryland's FCA. Raul Shah says whoop whoop. Susan H. says, what time is it there, Raul? It's a good question. I think it's close to 4 a.m. in the morning. Raul Shah says, thanks, let's go. Let's make this a comeback. The Blue Crabs fall a little short, 11-8. Let's run through the box score, the pitching lines, and then the scoring plays. There are a lot of them tonight in the 11-8 Blue Crabs loss. So let's start with the Blue Crabs box score here. As the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, it was Jack Sundberg who was 1 for 5, including an RBI. He also had a home run rob. That was back in the 3rd inning. It was over the wall, and Carlos Castro reached up and brought it back. Michael Wolanski was 1 for 4 with a 3-run shot tonight. Braxton Lee was 2 for 2, had a single and an RBI double before he was taken out of the game. We'll follow up on that after the ball game. We'll try to figure out exactly what happened there. Matt Hibbert, 1 for 3 tonight. He had a run scored as well. He was he bats 247 on the season after his 1 for 3 day tonight. DeLuca was 0 for 4. He was hit by a pitch. Collier 1 for 4 tonight. He also drove in a run. Jared Walker, a breakout performance tonight, 4 for 5, an RBI and a run scored. He was stranded on second to end the ball game. Ryan Haug was 1 for 4 tonight. He also walked and scored a run. Michael Baca, 1 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. He did make the final out in tonight's ball game. On the pitching side, Alcides Herrera, 5 innings, 11 hits, 9 runs, 4 earned runs from the lefty. There was an error made by Jared Walker that ended up charging Herrera with 5 unearned runs, as it would have been the 3rd out of the inning. He did make up for it at the plate, though, with the 4 for 5 ball game. Wells, ending of work, he allowed an unearned run and a hit. Dario Polanco, 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. He also walked 2 in the 11-8 loss. Let's run back through this ball game and the scoring plays. First inning, a 2-run shot from De Aza. Braxton Lee doubled and put up a run as it scored Michael Baca. Ended the inning, though. It was Jose Sermo who hit a sacrifice fly to right that made it 3-1. DeCarlo, a single on a ground ball to left, made it 5-1. Sue Lin homered to give the Ducks a 7-1 lead. In the 5th, it was Sue Lin again, his 3rd homer of the year. He was just released from AAA with the Twins earlier in August. So 3 home runs. You might say, oh, that's it all year? Well, he has only been with the team for just under a month, so that's why. Davidson Romero hit a sacrifice fly that brought in Phil Caulfield gave the Ducks a 10-1 lead. Jose Sermo hit a sac fly to give the Ducks an 11-1 lead. We entered the ninth. We said this game is over, and it was not all that interesting. Well, things turned on its head very quickly. An initial double from Jared Walker. It was then it was Ryan Haug who then reached on a walk. And then it was Michael Baca who doubled to right field, made it an 11-2 game. A single from Jack Sundberg made it 11-3, and a 3-run shot from Michael Belansky made it 11-6. Zach Collier hit a sacrifice fly to make it 11-7, and a double from Jared Walker got the Blue Crabs back within 3. The tying run came to the plate on 2 occasions. Ryan Haug, who was ahead in the count 3-0, ended up striking out. And from there, it was the 9-hitter Michael Baca who bounced out to third to end the ballgame. It was very interesting toward the end. It was not so interesting innings 3 through 9, but at least the Blue Crabs provided some offense late and the 11-8 loss. Well, we'll be back with you tomorrow night when the Blue Crabs will be back in action at 6:35 p.m. for Game 2 of this series. Have a terrific night, everybody, from wherever you're watching around the U.S. or around the world. Austin Rooney signing off on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We end with the same words as always. Let's go, Blue Crabs.